day, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on June 20th, 2021. I am your host, PrinceBrightstar, and without me today is Xance. Xance unfortunately could not be here today for today's recording, so this is going to be a solo show for me today. As you can see, we are kind of changing things up here with the show as well, with a new background, as well as new characters, so you're going to see Xance's next week. But yeah, this is gonna be a bit on the shorter side as well here today, given, there wasn't too much that happened, but there were a few things that we do want to make sure, that we bring up here, on the show. Let's go ahead and kick that off with, sort of the biggest, news here, which is basically the lag is mostly gone at this point here, from PSO2 New Genesis. It was, a really long time coming, but I am so glad that, for the most part, that is gone at this point. I think there was like one small issue, one small hitch that I had over the past few days where there was a delay with damage being taken, but other than that, the servers have been actually very stable ever since, so that is really good news to me, and I'm hoping that that's the last that we've seen of the lag. Granted, when it comes to new content, we might see the same thing pop up again. We'll have to see, although, granted, the next big batch of content is going to be coming out in the winter, when the level 35 content comes out. Although we do also have other content coming in the future for New Genesis, that being, one, the web-linked event, which is happening next week, plus, or next month, rather. After that is going to be Braver the following month, and then you're going to have Bouncer in the fall. So depending upon how many people want to be playing those classes, that potentially could bring a lot of players back in. We might see some lag once again. We'll have to see about all this, but for the most part, it should not be too much of an issue. It shouldn't be like what it was originally here. That being said, yeah, it is nice seeing the damage go out on bosses and enemies now, and the one unfortunate side effect of this is that you can't go so world anymore on the enemies and just do a ton of damage while they can't do anything against you. But you know what, that was making the game easy mode. The game is back to where it needs to be at this point here, so yeah. With that, why don't we go ahead and move into the next topic here today, which is the new Star Gem Scratch, which is out. Now, with the Star Gem Scratch, the way that this works is for each regular Star Gem Scratch that you do, it's going to be 50 Star Gems, and then there's also a daily free Star Gem Scratch ticket. So even if you don't want to spend any Star Gems, as long as you log in each day, you're going to get yourself a daily free Star Gem Scratch. And the way you do that is you go to where you would do the Star Gem Scratch, or AC Scratch, and then at the bottom of the list is an option for the free Star Gem Scratch. So you just scratch into that, you get whatever you get, and that's it for that day. And of course, keep in mind, anything that you get from the Star Gem Scratch, you can turn it into a Star Gem Recycle badge if you don't want it. So that is always an option for you if you want to do that, in case anything ever comes out that you can use those recycle badges for. In terms of the Scratch itself, let's go ahead and remind ourselves about that here. So we have first here a Garou and Ina outfit here. You've also got this outfit here. And then, of course, you can get the different parts of Garou, such as his hairstyle, the scar on his face, as well as the Ina hair, and also bald hair. I've actually already gotten that for myself, and that actually goes really well with this tongue here, the Viper tongue. And of course, you got some new emotes as well here, which can be used with and without finger emotes. And then, of course, you've got a bunch of new stamps with this as well. Yeah, the Goror one there's it's pretty funny, but I think it gets the point across that it's trying to make. Alright, so once again, the new emotes are hand pose rock, as well as hand pose pinky up. I'm kind of wondering with that hand pose if we're ever going to get a hand pose paper and a hand pose scissors. I guess we'll see in the future. We've also got the natural twin hairstyle here. And again, the Viper Mouth, which comes in 3 color variants. Once again, I am disappointed that Sega never allowed us to change the mouth and tongue color via RGB instead. But at least the blue one that they do provide did work with my character, so that's nice. That being whenever I take off the cast shell. You've also got some new base and set wear. The event Ultimila is Goror's, of course. And they're also... They even detail how to put that together, what items are being used. So it's not just the outfit that puts Goror together. You've also got the Gororian hair, the Gororian eyebrows, the Ale facial scar, the Ale tattoo B, the Ally scar, the Gororian stubble, and the Fortes earring. So there's a lot that goes into that, but once again, that free daily scratch will help you to put that together in the end. Alright, moving on from the Star Gem scratch, there have been a number of bugs as well as fixes for them. Let's start to take a look at the list of bugs that are currently known. So, the first half of the Double Saber Photon Arts Julian Dance has a higher potency than intended. Basically, the potency of the first half of the Photon Arts is doing too much damage, and they are saying that will be reduced. So that change will be coming if that hasn't already happened. There's also an issue where the game may not respond when players use scratch tickets. That issue is currently under investigation, and they're going to get back to us about that. Also, the effects of the preset skill Fixa Termina appears to be applied. It appears that it's being applied to non-critical hits, and that is something that they're working to fix at this point. There is also an issue where the effect duration of certain NGS boosters are shortened or being shortened from what is intended. Basically, what's happening is if a player overwrites a booster with a greater effect, the effect duration is not overwritten correctly. So for the time being, they are recommending that players don't use a new booster until the effects of the prior one has run out. And that way, you don't get the shortened time. As for the emergency maintenance that was done earlier this week, there was no change in the version number, but that emergency maintenance was necessary in order to get the Xbox Live players back onto the servers. Both Xbox Live, or rather Xbox and Windows 10 players were simply unable to log in. And that was even noted on the Xbox status site as well. So this was definitely a major issue. For anybody that was affected, servers are back up now for you, so you're able to log in. And as for the maintenance itself, because of the issue, any premium set extended storage 1 to 6, material storage, personal shop use, as well as personal quarter use, expanded max orders received, and bonus keys have all had their expirations extended by 12 hours. Now, aside from these bugs, there are also some other bugs that are occurring, which have only been noted on the Japanese side, which is kind of interesting, because everything is based on the same base game now. The only real difference between the Japanese and the English version now being essentially just the translation. So it's interesting that these are not being noted, but these come from the Japanese New Genesis website here. First one being, well, this one is at least understandable since this is on the Japanese side. For some reason, they've got the chaotic incarnation of darkness and sweeping operation like a dream. Those are still accessible at this point, and those are going to be discontinued on the 23rd. There's also a note here that it's possible that even if you destroy all the red containers, the quest, or rather the side task for that may not be cleared, and they're taking measures to get that fixed right now. There's also an issue where the protected containers may not be displayed. Now, these are the containers where you need to break 3 to 4 of those floating pods in order to get access to the box. For some reason, the red container inside is not showing up inside the barrier. And that is something that they're also looking into, and they're trying to get that fixed. There's also an issue with the fighter class skill Knuckle Sway Counter, where that may be activated twice in a row. So that is also a potential bug that's may also be happening on the global side as well. Once again, this was never noted to us, but it's possible that that could be happening here. There's also the potential that when moving to a PSO2 block, an error may occur and you may not be able to move. If this problem occurs, they have confirmed that it can be solved by logging into the New Genesis block once and removing the costume or outerwear equipment. So basically take off your costume, throw it in your storage, and then put it back on once you get to PSO2. And there's also an update here. There is going to be more Pusoni or PSO2 coming in the future here. The first 2 pages of this are available on the Japanese side. We haven't specifically heard word that this is being translated into English, but I would expect we're going to hear some word about that in the near future, so look forward to it. I also do want to note, for anybody that is using the PSO2 cloud version, that because of the issues that have happened for New Genesis, there have been some changes made to try to improve the experience on there, including lowering the frame rate from 60 frames per second down to 30 frames per second. So that should at least help with the load times. But once again, that issue may still be impacting some players. They're at this time checking to make sure everything is working with that, and in time they will likely be increasing that back up to 60 frames per second. Alright, and along with that, another topic that we have for today is the No Border topic. Now, this is a collaboration that is happening between PSO2, NGS, and Zutomayo. Now, this is a group that creates music over in Japan. I personally, I've never heard of them before, but this is interesting since they basically created their own characters in the game, which you can see up at the top here. And the whole idea of No Border is that when you are... basically, you have the real you in the real world, as well as the character you in the game. And so that essentially creates the idea that there's no border in the end between the characters, whether you're a real-life character or the character that you create in the game. Now, as part of this collaboration, there is a music video available, as well as some of the artwork that went into this here, as well as a TikTok hashtag challenge. Now, I don't think we're going to be getting this on the global side, especially because the main music video collaboration song that was created for this is not available outside of Japan at this time. But if you do some Google searches, you can find the song. And plus, the shorter 1 minute or so version of it is available here. Yeah, just kind of going into the description again here. Living in your own way can be difficult, but even if you imitate someone, you can never be the same person. It's okay to be different from today's self and tomorrow's self. You can immerse yourself in one thing or try different things, because it's all you. PSO2 NGS is a super evolved ultimate character creator that allows you to create the only hero in the world and enjoy the adventure. Once again, this is coming off of Google Translation, so this may not be entirely accurate at what it's saying here. There is no border. With your own character, just like you, let's go on an infinite adventure. And yeah, so part of the collaboration song basically also has the characters in the music video essentially showing the two lives that they have in this world. And so there's both a side A and a side B to them, essentially. And then we have Akane-san, who produced the collaboration song, their All Lumini Association, and I wish I had been in the middle of the night. They say, once again, this is Google translated here, I've always liked games and I wanted to make music as the theme of these games, so I was very happy to talk with NGS in collaboration. No border, not a custom only to you, there are Kimi. Don't think that translated correctly there. That from the concept of this collaboration, in the standards there are various surface and any way of life. Also might not be wrong, was empathy. Yeah, that didn't translate correctly here either. I wanted to walk on my border not only by people's standards, but also by my own scale. Thank you, because I also wanted to make such a song. And hey, Lord Samuel, and nice on the speedrun of the Dragon Urgent Quest there. The one thing that I saw in the music video, though, that I wanted to point out here, is they've got this just really cute Rappy plush in the background, and I want that so much. I mean, really, when are we gonna get merch for the global side of things here? But yeah, so that does it for PSO2 New Genesis today. Let's move on now to Idola. First off, we have the weekly preview. There was the new character Farley. There's also a new gacha, the Descent Quest gacha, which has Totonaut EX and Jasper EX ready to fight. They also say that they want to share some thoughts. Many of you have experienced some unpleasant disconnectivity, top-up crashes, in-game bugs, which concern both dev and operation teams. They have decided to further investigate the situation, hoping to eradicate the issue in the future. It saddened their heart to find out 95% of recent issues are caused by many players trying to use unauthorized programs to breach the game, with the goal to gain an unfair advantage. They would like to once again announce that they have zero tolerance towards such behaviors and will issue instant bans on those accounts. Meanwhile, they are upgrading GameGuard to better support all the legit players in the future. And they thank everyone for their time and patience and support. And then they have an additional point here. They received feedback from the latest update, and the 5-day pack is now properly renewed, which allows you to purchase normally. They have extended the 5-day pack for one more day to accommodate the issue yesterday, that being on the 17th, it looks like. And gacha tickets and Lucky Chance are not currently applicable to Episode 2 characters. And yeah, Xantz is with their family today, so yeah, they'll be back next week. Alright, moving on to the Japanese side of Idola. There was a buff given to some of the older characters in Idola here, so With that, you've got a new pickup character scratch here, which includes Stella, Rosalind, and Jasper. There's also a paid upwards revision character guaranteed gacha, so basically with paid Star Diamonds, you're guaranteed to pull one of these characters. There's also a limited event Idola Battle Special 2.5 Anniversary After Party. And so for this one, you can collect Idola Crystal 2's Ash and exchange it for 1,000 Star Diamonds, 5-star character, 10% gacha tickets, and more. A sheet of objectives in Idola Battle that replaces the weekly missions is available. It unlocks various prizes such as Idola medals and stamina refills. Completing the sheet will give you a total of 1,200 Star Diamonds. This goes on until the 21st, so you got one more day on that. Or actually, no, that ends the 21st at midnight, so really you've just got today then. There is also a reprint of the Descent Quest Cetus Eclipse Fire. And with this has the quest weapon symbol Fisherman's Harpoon. When using single target attacks, ignore the effect of support effects that increase damage reduction. Potential ability has it increasing the damage dealt by 20%. And then you've also got the quest soul symbol, Sea Devil Cetus Eclipse. At the start of your turn, if an enemy has a debuff, increase the duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 or 2 turns. It also has the potential ability decrease enemy HP recovery by 40% for 2 turns. Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Lord Samuel. The best thing you can do in terms of leveling your units at this point is to just get more units. Although, check the player shops. They may have some discounts on there every now and then where you can pick some up. Okay, for this Descent quest, for the requirements and restrictions, yeah, so for the advanced version, you have no party strength limits, no continues, and fellow traveler support is allowed. For the super version, you need at least a party strength of 130,000 or higher, and no fellow traveler support is allowed. And for the extreme version, it's the same, except you need a party strength of 150,000 or higher. And of course, you get your typical assortment of first clear rewards from that. And there is a limited collection quest part 1. Collect pure pearls in the new limited collection quest Stella and Uli's Prelude of Happiness part 1. And you can exchange those for Star Diamonds. You can get a total of up to 1,500 Star Diamonds from trading in this quest. Alright. And lastly today, we have a little bit of news from Clementine. So, the server's back online. Players who were active during the event should find the following items in their share box. This being the event that just came to an end. You're going to get one of the PSO Disc 11, one of the PSU Disc 97, and 4 drop rate 100%. The EXP curve for new characters was also increased from 50% to 100%, and it will end at level 100. Also, they have a note here, the IC tickets will remain for 2 weeks before they remove them from player inventories and reclaim the item's ID. During this time, you can still buy boards from the console at Paracabana Coast. If you have tickets to spend, then they encourage you to do so before they remove them. Thanks a lot for playing their event. They are aware it was a little rough in places, and they'd like to touch base with players soon about how to improve things for the future events. They'll most likely make a post detailing what they've learned, how they want to improve on it, and see how everyone feels. And they finish up with big smoochies. Alright. So yeah, like I mentioned before, this was going to be a short show, given that there really wasn't too much new that had happened this week. We really only just got the new Star Gem Scratch. Next week, we do know there is a new AC Scratch coming. We still haven't heard anything about the web-linked event, so there may not be too much beyond that as well. But we'll see. At the very least, you'll be able to see the new look for Xance next week as well here, once they are back on the show. But yeah, that pretty much does it. So, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.